Hello and welcome to Teacher Inspiration Station. I'm Melissa Clark. In today's video, I wanted to talk about love, in particular, the love languages. Now, I first heard about love languages when I went to pre-marriage counseling. And my pastor asked if we had heard about love languages, and I hadn't heard of it before. The book written by Gary Chapman came out in the 90s. So this is something that has been around for a while. And I was talking to a few of my girlfriends, and a lot of them hadn't heard of it before. So I thought, you know what, let me make a video about it and enlighten my viewers on what it means. So basically, there are 5 ways that we can give and receive love. And we all don't feel love in the same way. There is one way in particular, maybe 2 out of the 5, that really resonates with us. And when people do these things to us, we really feel the love. We feel like this person is expressing love to me. So the 5 love languages are words of appreciation. So saying, I love it when you do this. I really appreciate it when you do that. I can't live without you. What would I do without you? And all those lovey-dovey words that make a lot of people feel special. Physical touch, which is pretty self-explanatory. These people love hugs. They like kisses, holding hands, pat on the back. They love to be touched. Quality time. So I'm going out for dinner with this person, maybe even having just sitting and chatting with this person, going for walks. They just love to spend time with you, and they feel loved and appreciated when you are spending your time with them. Acts of service, so doing little favors for someone, giving them a ride somewhere, or taking out the trash, cleaning the house, cooking for them. Just doing little favors for them makes these people feel loved. And receiving gifts, which is pretty self-explanatory. These people enjoy getting presents, and it doesn't necessarily have to be expensive presents, but they just love receiving gifts. So I was thinking to myself, which one of these am I? So there's things online that you can do, like quizzes and things like that online to figure out your love language. But a lot of times you kind of just know yourself. And you kind of, but sometimes we don't. So I was looking at this list, and I am definitely acts of service. Whenever someone does something nice for me, I really appreciate it, and it makes me feel loved. So whether it's like giving me a ride somewhere, or my family watching my son while I go do something, or cooking for me. Like, one of the nicest things my husband can do for me is like when I'm sleeping and then he wakes me up and he presents me with some sort of food item. Like, I'm just like, oh, you love me, you know. So I love acts of service. And my husband, oh, by the way, this is not necessarily for romantic love. This is just basically love in general. Love your family, your friends, just people in your life. So yeah, I'm using examples with my husband, but it's not just for romantic love. So his is definitely physical touch. He loves hugs. He loves, like, when we're in the car, he likes holding my hand. And I know that that's how he feels loved. So I'm conscious of that. And I will just give him like a random touch on the arm and things like that. And that's not my love language. Like, it's definitely not physical touch for me. Not to say like I'm awkward, like I'll give a hug and things like that, but it's definitely not my, like I said, I already told you what mine was, but that's definitely not mine. And but I know that it's his, so I do that so that he can feel loved by me. And it doesn't mean that you can't feel, it doesn't mean that you don't like the other ways as well. It doesn't mean like, oh, I don't like getting gifts, or I don't like words of appreciation. It doesn't mean I don't like that, but there's usually just 1 or 2 ways that really resonates with you, where you really feel like, okay, I'm loved. And I was just thinking about people in my life, my family, and I was thinking about my father, who he passed away about 1.5 years ago. And I was just thinking about him. I was like, you know, what was his love language? Because he was not a touchy-feely person at all. Like hugs, like I honestly, I don't remember, maybe like a couple of hugs in my lifetime. You know, like he wasn't that person, but I knew that he loved me. And he definitely wasn't words of appreciation, like saying I love you and all that. And that wasn't really his thing. Even if you said it to him, or if you were like to give him a hug or anything, like he didn't receive it well. And I'm thinking a lot of it maybe is how you're brought up, because I know he wasn't brought up in that kind of an environment. So maybe that shapes the way you are. But my dad definitely was a acts of service person. Like anything I needed, he'd do for me. That was his. And definitely the gifts, giving gifts. Every day he'd come home with like chips or candy, or I remember in high school, like I'd say, oh daddy, can I have this? Can I have $20? And he'd just give it to you. Like he was definitely a giver. So I don't know. I'm like, I guess that was his love language. A lot of times how you can figure out a love language is how people show it to you. So people who do certain things to you, like my husband again, like he's very touchy-feely. That's how I know that's his love language, because that's what he does with me. So yeah, observing how people are with you, that helps you know what their love language is. And I'm thinking about my mom. My mom, she's such a joker. So the other day, like she saw my phone, like my husband sent me a message and he said, "You're the most beautiful woman in the world." And my mom saw it and she's just like, oh Lord, like she rolls her eyes. I'm like, what? What? And she's just like, that means nothing to me. Like if a man says that to me, it doesn't mean anything to me. And she's a person that's like, show me you love me with your actions. You can say, oh, I won't hurt you, I'll do all this, and I'll never. Show me with your actions, because talk is cheap. So that's my mom. Like we have the same love language in that sense. Like we like, I guess, acts of service, or like, yeah, the whole words of appreciation. Like it doesn't say she doesn't like it, but it just doesn't really mean much to her. So I remember her telling me that just last week when we were talking. So I thought, oh, okay, that's interesting. And yeah, so how does this benefit you or your life? Obviously, it helps with relationships. You know how sometimes you feel like you do so much for someone and they don't really feel like you've done everything. Like, oh, I cook, I clean, I take care of the kids, and maybe they don't want that. Maybe they like it, but maybe they just need your time. They just like leave all of that. Just come spend some time with me. Or maybe, oh, one thing I should say, the giving gifts one is you have to incorporate the other 4 love languages in addition to giving gifts. So you have to spend time with someone. You have to tell them you appreciate them. You have to do things for them. Not just give gifts. You can't just give gifts to someone and not do any of the other love languages. So that was kind of like a disclaimer for the receiving gifts one. And then I was thinking about my students too. And you know, you have those kids that just love to touch you. They love hugs, and there's some kids who are just not into that, or some kids who just love the praise. They love it. So you know, it just makes, because everyone's different, right? And there's this child I had in my class who loves receiving gifts. So even like a little thing from the prize box, he loved. And his mom was saying to me, because he got a car from the prize box, his mom said to me, oh, thank you for giving him that, by the way. And she said he sleeps with it. And he woke up in the middle of the night and he asked, where's the car from Miss Clark? So like it's even in his head, even when he's sleeping, which I thought was so sweet. So I don't know. It's very interesting, this whole love languages thing. But anyway, I'm going to link down below some videos that go in depth, that talk about the love languages in more detail. And you can also do a Google search for quizzes and things to help you figure out what your love language is. And it can really help save your relationships, you know? So I just wanted to share that with you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I'm so thankful to my subscribers. And if you're not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I recently just realized that I've hit over 10,000 views. I'm not trying to make a huge lot. I'm not trying to make money anyway on YouTube. Like, it's just like a hobby of mine. But I just love like that I'm almost at a certain goal. Like if you reach this, then you can get monetized. You know, so I'm just excited about that. So I've reached over 10,000 views, but I'm not really close to 1,000 subscribers. So if you can help me out with that, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.